All right, check out my new prototype. This is a sort of bit crusher, bit mangling module. It is based on an ADC and DAC pair in discrete circuits. I found this is the TLC0820AC ADC and the DAC0808 DAC. They're both 8-bit DACs. They both have parallel output and input respectively, so it's pretty easy to work with them. No need for shift registers or anything like that. All I have is some D latches in between to convert between tri-state and continuous logic levels. This is being clocked by a 555 timer, which is a deliberately low key choice. Definitely, if I were using this for a more signal processing application, I'd want a better timer, but the 555 is venerable and works great because it lets me have a very wide range of potential sample rates. In this case, you can see the lights are blinking at like a visible rate of speed, which wouldn't happen if it were a very high sample rate. What I've got running on this right now, if we flip over to the oscilloscope. Oh, sorry, before I get there, the other thing to mention is the bit mangling switch here. The final product, I'm hoping will have 8 of them, one for each bit. What it does is it flips between the inverted, or non-inverted and inverted output of that bit before it's finally sent to the DAC, which should be interesting for some wave shaping. Like very, very chiptunes wave shaping. So let's visit the oscilloscope and have a look at what's going on. Right now, I have a 2 hertz sine wave, and we're sampling at a rate of 33 hertz, which is the lowest that this particular potentiometer can push the NE555. So that's as low as she goes. Having said that, it's low enough to be, I'm sure, about as distorted as you could possibly want a bit crush to be. As we can see, even at just a 2 hertz sine wave, the individual samples are quite pronounced. At the other extreme is about 95 kilohertz. And let's see if I can push this up to that without hitting the breaking point. At some point, it starts to break down, but there we are. I got 98.7 kilohertz as the sample rate. We still have, of course, a 2 hertz sine wave, but what I can do is, if I adjust my function generator to go up to about 9,000 hertz, which is about as fast as I was able to get it to reasonably function, and push the sample rate as high as it goes without breaking down completely, and we can see we still get a pretty decent output. Definitely low bit depth, no question there. And if we take this down to very, very short time spans, we can see that the sample rate is definitely in that range. Now the fun thing here, if I do bring this back up to a range where we start to see that sine wave again, that might be too much. Let's try. We'll see a proper sine wave somewhere in here. Maybe if I turn down the sample rate just slightly so we're less broken. There we go. And I'll turn down the function generator a bit. Let's go to about 3 kilohertz. So 3 kilohertz sampled at, that looks like about 186 hertz. Let's push that up more. There we go. Sampled at a very much higher rate of speed here. We can get down to, there's the 200 microsecond horizontal width. It's a nice clean sine wave. Here's what happens if I mangle the most significant bit, which is the only one I have hooked up. We get a much different sine wave. Completely and utterly mangles the waveform just with one bit flip. I'm imagining, less extreme variations at smaller bits, but I didn't want to solder that together for this example. So that is what this prototype can do. Currently, it doesn't have the input and output logic. I'm just using a function generator to feed it directly. Just because of these ADCs and DACs both being in positive only range in this configuration, I do need to do some op-amp magic to get eurorack levels into it. I'd like it to be bipolar if it can be, and I think I can do that just with a good division and addition. And we'll get there when we can get there. That's what I got. Just wanted to show it.